Today on Judge King, it's a triple co-worker drama like no otherwise.
As a result of the making complaint, she asked to leave.
Kimberly claims that Annabelle has harassed people who got arrested for years.
So as soon as she heard me, it was me. She would call me every possible name. She was threatening me and saying, "Don't miss your sister."
Did Annabelle's vicious allegations result in Kimberly being falsely arrested?
What happened when you get arrested?
I was get a fingerprint, mugshot, and bears wig when I am not a criminal.
Did it to save your life. Who would do the first blow? Hit it. That's gonna be a hack of the pack. You want me to come off this bench? I suggest you get clear about the truth right now. Don't get me testifying in here today.
Kimberly Lewis is suing Annabelle Miller for $30,475 for having her falsely arrested. Kimberly says that Annabelle harassed her now deceased her sister Charlotte when they worked together at Papa John's. She says, when Charlotte complained to the owners, Annabelle got revenge by having Kimberly arrested. But Kimberly says, the most tragically part is that crying stress of this ordeal may have contributed to her sister's death. She was here with her mother Morgan Ramsey. Annabelle says that she definitely knew that Kimberly, so she was shocked when Kimberly called her at work to harass her twice. She claims that Kimberly made her fear for her life, so she had no choice but to file charges against her. Annabelle also here with her best friend co-worker Ashley Waters, who claims that she witnessed Kimberly threatened Annabelle repeatedly.
Ms. Lewis, you're suing the defendant for $30,475 for attorney's fees, lost wages, and for pain and suffering because you said that she had you falsely arrested on the harassment charges.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's go from the beginning. How did you know each other?
This child is a invincible person. She had me arrested in her town because my sister and my boyfriend work with her. This is what it stands for.
So tell me about the claim. What happened?
From what I understand from my sister, because the only way that you can hear through me, because my sister passed away, they were friends in the beginning. From what I understand, something happened to Annabelle, started talking about her work. Charlotte would call me from work. Call me, what am I going to do? She's talking about me, ignore her.
So, your sister is Annabelle's co-worker, and she complained about problems with Annabelle, right? So what happened?
Annabelle got personal and was telling stories. When they were friends, she was telling her inappropriate stories. My sister didn't care to hear about it. She had a party, and when she threw some...
Your sister and I am a fan, and I don't want to hear about those stories.
Exactly.
So, what advice did you give her?
My boyfriend was the manager. He got on the phone. I said, you are home talking about my sister. My sister was real upset.
So, Annabelle, what's the relationship between you and the plaintiff's sister? That, how I understand that, now she was passed away.
So we would work together, Your Honor. We were both servers, and she was like a sister to me. And she said, we start off as friends before we were both pregnant at the same time. This began to fall apart shortly after she had a child.
So tell me about how that felt about.
She had a total of personality. She started bringing bills into work. They were prescribed for not telling me about them. So she started telling me stories. Now, not one time about some innocent at a bar and got into a fight with women. When they leave, they chased them in their car and cut them off. She was bragging and telling me she used a bat to smash the window and broke in one of the girls' collarbones. So started slacking off in her work, which was my issue. And when other people don't do their work, it's a difficult to mind.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. Was any in this relayed to you by your sister?
No, my sister loved her job. They were not a chance in this world that she slacked off on her job, okay? Not a chance that she did that.
So, what is the point that your sister is saying about Annabelle at this point?
She was an antagonizer.
So, did your sister complain that she had done something inappropriate to her?
Yeah, she had touched her butt area and rubbed against her 2 times.
Did she complain to anybody in this company about this?
Yes, sir.
What did she claim?
Well, I believe what she told her as exactly what I am telling you right now is what she told them. They wanted my sister to
Wait
leave.
a minute. So, did your sister specifically claim that she harassed it at the job?
Yes, sir.
As a result of the making complaint, she asked to leave.
My sister asked to be
Stop right
transferred.
So, Annabelle, that's just pretty serious and worse. Serious to worse.
Right.
She is saying that Charlotte actually complained that she being harassed on the job by you. How's that happen?
They were astray from the truth.
Do you know the circumstances under which she was asked to relocate it another location?
Yes, sir. That was at my request because, as I told you, we started having problems at working together. And when I brought complaints forward to the manager.
So, did you complaint for a manager?
I did before, saying anything else to anything else. I went to my manager and said this worker is not doing such as things, and I gave him a list.
So, what is his reason?
He said I don't want her to talk to her, and I wonder if that's possible if he is Kimberly's boyfriend and Charlotte was her sister, so it was kind of a family issue. He wanted to stay out of it. It happened. And we continue having problems with her not doing things. I brought complaints forward numerous of times. So, and he said that he trying to leave a note. And which wasn't odd for us. People left notes.
So, your manager told you to leave a note rather than him to intervene. He told you to leave a note. If she was slacking off so badly in her job, why wouldn't he do something about it? You're saying that of the relationship.
Yes, there were pleasures at home. I heard he was immunized by them.
Bottom line, let's fast forward with this. So, what is your understanding by why she was asked to relocate?
Because after I left a note, first Charlotte and her sister began to say, "Don't mess with me. I don't want to cause trouble. My whole family will get involved. They will know who you are." Started threatening me. So then phone calls started with Kimberly, and because Charlotte probably told her what's going on.
So you threatened her at work?
I was threatened at work. Kimberly would call and she would list every name you call a female.
Stop right here. This is the crux of this case. So, Kimberly saying that you're going to get yourself falsely arrested for harassment. This is the beginning of this pattern of harassment that you're saying that you're claiming.
Right?
Judge King will continue when we returns.
And you never harassed her?
I never harassed her. I called for my boyfriend or my sister. I never called there and asked for her for personality.
And later,
what happened when you get arrested?
I was get a fingerprint, mugshot, embarrassed with, but I am not a criminal.
Judge King is back in the case of Kimberly Lewis, who is suing Annabelle Miller for $30,475. Kimberly claims that Annabelle had harassing her late sister Charlotte when they worked together at Papa John's and then had Kimberly falsely arrested for harassments.
So how did Kimberly get in a contract with you?
He would call me at work because I would answer the phone because this is part of business service to answer the phone. So as soon as she heard me, it was me. She would call me every possible name. She was threatening me, saying, "Don't miss your sister." She was here in court with her mother. Her mother is one of her co-workers and was a present one at the time. And I received a phone call for wow. And I would do is hang up because I wasn't going to
Stop
listen
right
to
here.
that.
Kimberly, did you call her at work?
Absolutely not, Your Honor.
And you never harassed her?
I never harassed her. I called for my boyfriend or my sister. I never called there and asked for her for personality.
So have you ever had any conversation with her when you called her the other kinds of names and threatening when you saying that don't listen, you better not mess with your sister again?
No, sir, never.
So she is hanging up. You saying that she's trying to make up a whole bit about the phone call.
Yes, sir.
Were you a co-worker?
Yes.
And did you observe this harassment?
Yes, I was there when the phone call started. Kimberly.
So, did you observe problems between Kimberly and Charlotte?
Yes, definitely.
All right, let's forward. Let's fast forward. So, what happened to cause you to have Kimberly arrested?
So, after she was transferred, we had a full lunch, dining room full. I was with tables, and Charlotte and her brother came into the restaurant and started screaming at me, saying that we're going to hunt you down and we're going to find your brother to break your brother's legs. We know where you live. I ran in the bathroom. I was terrified, in tears.
So, were you working with that happen?
Yes, I was, Your Honor.
But did you observe that Charlotte and her brother came in
Yes, sir.
and threatened her?
Yes, sir.
Was the manager doing it all the time? Nobody did anything?
No.
Nobody asked for them to leave?
No. What happened after that? We have a telephone. I looked up the police number, and the time I was looking up, they were gone outside. When I had to peer out the window, as I am the phone call to the police, they come up to the window and started screaming through the window. I called the police. Then they came in and take an incident report. And I told them everything that happened. The harassment with what's name, Charlotte, and I said I want all charges pressed as possible because at a point I fear my life. I had heard stories about this family. Their brother and been out of jail before. Their stories from Charlotte.
All right, stop right here. Kimberly, at some point you were encountered at the restaurant.
Yes, sir.
Tell me what happened.
I was with Charlotte that day.
Wait a minute, you are Charlotte's aunt.
I'm her aunt. Charlotte asked me to come with me. I have to get an extra of my head because she was complaining and had headaches. I was say sure. She said I have to go and pick up my last paycheck. Will you come with me? Sure. Why not? She was like, when you going to trying to aggravate somebody. She was talking behind Charlotte in front of me. She goes and gets a pop and puts it in her mouth. And she starts wiggling and rolling her eyes at me, and for no reason whatsoever. And I don't know her. I said to her, I shouted, "Oh no, you did not give it to me that look. I don't know you. I am not Charlotte. I don't work here. I put you through in a darn wall." Over her drinking soda. She was mocking me. She was aggravating Charlotte, and I was would say something to her. She could have us arrested. I find it was interesting. She came and became a witness because she came and arrested me, and as she just admitted, I did not harass you.
All right, so you just threatening to knock her through the wall.
Yes, Your Honor. Because this girl don't know who I am.
Wait. But the thing about it is, this was ridiculous. You're in a restaurant. You are going to, with your niece to pick her up in the last paycheck. You're saying that you don't know who this young woman is, don't know what woman's feelings and weird thoughts of real feelings and real things. And then you are the one who threatened to knock her through the bank wall.
I told her, you don't know me. You are looking at the
Stop right. What happened?
This is why I filed charges, because the entire family are involved. They were harassing me at work. I was terrified of my life.
So let's look at bottom line this. Kimberly, is this your sworn testimony under an oath that you never ever say anything to her?
Never. I met this child one time for years ago. 3 years ago at the bowling alley. I did not tell you that what she look unto right now.
When Judge King continues,
What happened when you get arrested?
I was get fingerprint, mugshot, embarrassed with when I am not a criminal.
back the case, Kimberly claims that Annabelle made passes at her sister Charlotte before she died and had her falsely arrested and suing the defendant for $30,475. Annabelle claims that Kimberly began to blows up her phone and threatened her out of her life so she had a job to file charges.
What happened when you get arrested?
2 days later, 2 sheriff's deputies came into my house. I was get a fingerprint, mugshot, embarrassed with 15 people in orange shirts watching me get fingerprint when I am not a criminal.
You were booked and charged when you're released until your court date.
I was until the court date, and I had to go with my attorney.
So the basics with your claim, the attorney's fees, right? Why did you have to occur so much?
So never show up for court.
She never showed up to court.
Not one time.
How many times did you go to court?
5 times.
5 times, and she never showed up.
Not once.
Annabelle, was it necessary for you to be in court 5 times, and why didn't you show up at the first time?
They sent me a letter and mail, and all it stated, and she was going to court such and such a date. I never pressed charges.
But you knew you would have to testify 3rd and 4th and 5th time, and it never occurred you. You all did
No, I just thought that just letting me know the legal system it was going its way.
I mean the basis in the adulteral system. You had to be you have to be testify against her. You said your sister had passed away. You said in your complaint that you think that she is responsible for her death.
This is when I from 7th month, and with my sister having to talk to people.
How did your sister pass away?
Bachelor asthma. My sister is one's in Oregon, Your Honor. They were couldn't donate her a heart because they that child has much stress on it in the last year. And then you know that. This was the most part. When we
Can I interrupt, Your Honor? Yes, ma'am.
I heard that she's going to go on a drug and that is not true. And stress on the heart has nothing to do with mental. Secretly, she was a business
That is not
woman.
true.
She had an operation and to 300 pounds and to take over her body. And my sister had never drink. She sit there and hear and lie, but won't never get away with it with me.
When we come back, Judge King was about to render his verdict. Judge King was about to render his verdict.
So Annabelle, ordinarily I will not grant for damages in this matter. But let me tell you, for this woman show up in court not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 5 times, you have responsibility to show up in court. They will verify for the first time for her to proceed it and for this matter to be handled. I will not go into charge for the pain and suffering. I am not convinced that Kimberly and you and your family did not feel this fire. And I'm not convinced that either one of y'all did not harass this woman. And the plaintiff, y'all on the oath. You harassed her. You're on the oath. But the reason why that I'm giving you damages because she failed to appear over and over and over and over again, and you should not have to occur but with these legal fees. And I'm going to reward you. And that what you asked for. I'm going to reward you. $30,475. I give you some comparison to for all the times she kept not coming back. The reason that she is not getting everything because I don't believe the whole story. I don't believe that you're harassed, but I had a responsibility to go and be there to presumption. Judgment for the plaintiff an amount of $30,475. So ordered.
When Judge King continue after this.